Hey guys, I was on the phone earlier for like a pretty long call with a couple different premium members actually, and then I forgot to do a quick update. So I want to do a quick update on my open trades. So it's really hard to make a decision here. I was really bullish on these, as we talked about last night in my live stream. These were intended to be longer term holds, but I said if we break out, I'll probably take profit or move my stop loss up to my entry. So what I think I'm going to do, because remember, the daily model is really high on the Stoke. The 4-hour model is getting really high on the Stoke. I predicted this breakout really flawlessly. So like when JST, for instance, right now, the most, it was up like 7%. Now I'm sitting at like 6% profit. It's not a huge amount of profit if I were to sell now. It's not terrible. I was thinking maybe I'll just sell half, put half of my, and then put the other half, leave it there, but my stop loss goes right at my entry price. That way, if it dumps back down, I don't lose any money. And if it continues going up, I keep making money, right? And that's the benefit of having that stop loss in place to lock in profit or lock out risk. So, however, so me personally, this doesn't apply to everybody. Like if somebody else got into JST at the same time that I did, and you guys are up 6% and you want that profit, take that profit, just sell. Or sell half and then keep the rest open. Now, me personally, I'm going to let it ride because it's not a huge amount of profit. I don't want to take the smaller profit. I'd rather risk a little bit more, move my stop loss up to my entry price. If it dumps back down and hits my stop loss, I get all of my original investment back, every penny. I'm even going to put my stop loss. What I usually do is I'll put my stop loss at a millimeter higher than my entry, just enough to cover any fees for the trade. So it's essentially like 100% break even, right? That's what I'm going to do on this trade. It doesn't mean you should do that. I think it's probably going to dip back down a little bit. There's a good chance, but there's also a solid chance it can continue up. So I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to see if we can get higher. I'm going to do that for pretty much all of my trades I have open except one or two. So I have JST going. Doge broke out nicely. So remember, from this entry, which I did 20x, if you guys remember from the live stream. So this was a 20x leverage trade at the top. It was up 12 and change. Still up 8% now. So that's essentially 160%. I'm up. I need a second, Jenny. Sorry, wife's knocking on the door. So with that level of profit, I'm like, all right, for this particular one, especially since it's 20x leverage, it was a really great trade, and Doge is insane anyway. I have a long-term bag of Doge regardless, right? So this was supposed to be a short-term, higher-risk trade. I used 20x leverage, which of course is going to be risky, but I wasn't putting that much capital into it. The point is the 20x means that if you don't put that much into it, you can't lose that much, but if it hits, the 20x is huge, right? So I made a decent profit off of that. I think what I'm going to do on this one is probably I'll probably close half of it. I think I'll sell 50% of the position, take a nice profit, and the rest of it, my stop loss can go up to my entry price, and that way if it comes back down, I don't take a loss at all on the other half, right? Okay, that's what I'm going to do. As soon as I get off, as soon as I start recording this update, I will sell half of my Doge for this short-term position. My long-term bag I'm still holding on to, which is up like who knows how many 1,000%. It wasn't a huge position, but it was enough that, you know, you could turn a couple $100 into a few $1,000. All right, so that's Doge. My ETC trade broke out really nicely, right? 7 and change, 7%, about 7% at the top. Now it's come down ever so slightly. Same situation, everything's getting a little high here. I'm gonna let this one ride as well, just like we talked about with JST. All of my trades except for Doge, I'm treating like I explained with JST. We broke out. If you guys got in at the same time as me and you have a nice profit right now, you should absolutely sell. If you need that profit or want that profit, it's a personal decision. Everybody's risk tolerance is different. Everybody's goals are different. If you're in a position where you can afford to gamble a bit, go for it. And if you're in a position where you made a nice profit and you could use that money, obviously you should sell so you can build upon that profit. Use that capital to build more capital. That's what we're all doing here, right? We're building our capital. So UNI was the one trade I got into, which dumped, hit my stop loss all the way down here, and then it turned up. So I'm actually thinking about buying into this again, because this is the one trade. If you look at the Stochs, it's inverted. Everything else is really high, and pretty soon it's probably going to come down on the Stochs and probably on the price. UNI is just starting to turn up. So I think I'm going to buy back into this one, but I'll confirm with you in a few. I got my family here, so I'm kind of busy. But since that's the one red and everything else is green, I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do. And then the rest of my stuff, BTC and ETH, longer term holds that are 10x from the bottom of this run. I'm probably going to take profit from those. And lastly, AKRO is a longer term hold. I'm just going to leave my stop loss where it is because it hasn't really broken up much. But if it does, we talked about this in the live stream, could potentially make a huge run all the way up to where I have that wave 3 target. So I'm going to let that ride, take some risk on it. So that's it for now. I'll do more as soon as I can.